떨어진 것 같아 Girl, kinda same like we got chemistry, same energy I can see us make history 빙빙 돌아가듯이
What's up Team KBA, Untitled Traveler here. Now I want to share my final thoughts after using these pair of shoes for roughly 2, coming up to 3 weeks now of pure everyday mileage. They are from ZEBRAOASIS, or ZO for short. And the reason why they caught my attention and why I've been trialing these out is because these are made of hemp. They like to tagline themselves as comfort meets sustainability, and I want to see how much of that statement is true. Are they really comfortable? Are they sustainable? And for the most part, as first generation, I'm really impressed. Pair where I had my partner to trial run them with me also, so I'll share her thoughts for the ladies and see how much ZEBRAOASIS hyped up feature, the Reboot Ring, really helps make recycle these shoes a lot easier and more environmentally friendly. You can find my full written review on these pair of shoes from ZEBRAOASIS at onetechtraveler.com. These are the ZO hemp shoes. Let's get started.
I ain't tryna play games with ya, girl. Honest, you are not a side character. Every day after day, I tryna go out my way. So I wanna secure you. Oh, I wanna see you every night after night. Can we forget about time? 'Cause I wanna adore you. Oh, I wanna make you mine.
Now that R-ring is very important for 2 reasons. One that I mentioned already, how we can unthread the upper knit from the outsole, and that allows us to recycle and allow the upper knit, which is biodegradable, you can fully recycle them. Secondly, and more importantly, there's actually no glue attaching both the upper and the rear together, and that's always caused a big problem when it comes to recycling shoes and just the recycling process. Because of the glue, because of those chemicals, it makes and renders a lot of the traditional shoe parts unrecyclable, which means they end up in the landfill. With the R-ring and the organic materials for the upper and the TPU foam that does not use any additional chemicals, then these are actually fully recyclable and easy to do at home. More on that later. You can see the lacing holes is within the upper knit material, slightly reinforced, and we've also got the knitted tongue piece. You have a removable merino wool insole, and underneath that is the Reboot Ring, or the R-ring thread that helps us separate the upper from the bottom. Now ZO hero this as hemp shoes. Hemp is the major material they use to create the upper knit. Just under 47% is made of hemp, with just under 43% comprising of bamboo, final 10% wool and cotton. All sustainable, all naturally sourced, all organic materials. The insole's merino wool, and you'll find that as a high quality material used in clothing. It's actually a really nice material to use for the insole because it's temperature regulating, moisture wicking, more importantly, anti-odor. You're not gonna get that foot sting, less sweaty, quite a nice thick fabric. So you can remove it if you wanna use your own, really well made, and also adds to that super comfortable experience. And then finally, we have the TPU foam. Traditional TPU foams use additional chemicals which help contribute to CO2 emissions and just the overall carbon footprint of what it takes to manufacture shoes. ZEBRAOASIS claim to use 100% fully recyclable TPU foam with gas-assisted technology. Not sure entirely what that means, but they do assure they're not using those additional chemicals, which is why it also makes it fully recyclable. The fact they both detach makes it a simpler process. So you're probably wondering how well these perform as actual shoes. Didn't know what to expect with the ZO hemp shoes, mainly because it's using these organic and sustainable materials that might be more comfortable, but I'm a little bit cautious when it comes to durability. After a couple of weeks of wearing these, honestly, they are super comfortable. As soon as you put your feet in, it's really plush, it's nicely cushioned, a lightness to it, and feels very authentic and natural. Very simple, it's got a clean look. It doesn't go crazy with all these technical or mechanical features in a shoe, materials that are naturally and inherently comfortable, and that makes these super light. When you walk, it really feels like you're walking on clouds, trekking around Bali in Indonesia on the motorbike, just walking treks and the uneven terrain of Bali pavements. Head to the airport, took my flight and arrived here in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. And just the overall process, I chose to wear these because these were comfortable, and throughout all of that, it really was like I never had any foot fatigue. There's some nice flex in this, so if you're on uneven terrain, then the foam is not rigid, which puts pressure to your feet. It allows your feet to just mold over it and give it a bit more flex, like how our feet naturally move, and with the arch and now individual toes. So I like that feel, the fit. It's very accommodating, very soft to the skin. You can wear these without socks and it feels like you are wearing socks, or just really comfortable pillows on your feet. That's not an exaggeration, they really are. And of course, parts of it is because of its knit material versus an alternative. They really combine together to feel nice. It's very breathable, so during the summer it gets very hot, my feet don't feel overheated than other shoes. And because of the merino wool insole, then I don't have to wear merino socks to make sure that by the end of a sweaty trek or adventure and I take my shoes off, my feet aren't going to stink up the place. My concern was the R-ring thread and how they've stitched it all together. It's been very durable, and there's absolutely no worries wearing these on a day-to-day and thinking that the stitching is going to come off. Between the foam and the upper knit, you've got this reinforced piece. It adds extra structure and rigidity, so you know it's not going to break off. It might be early days and I'll make an update if there's any sort of breakdown in the form, but right now, let's put ZEBRAOASIS Reboot Ring Thread to the test. We have a nice clean separation of the outsole and the upper knit. There's no glue whatsoever attaching, there's no residue and all of the unsightly parts that come with a traditional shoe, and it also makes it a lot easier when it comes to recycling once these are like end of life. It's travel pack friendly, someone who lives outside of a luggage, more digital nomads or long-term travels, or you just really don't want to deal with a lot of the heavy bloatedness of gear. These pair of shoes are going to help keep you light, agile, and more importantly, your weight allowance down when it comes to checking in. I really loved it. How did my partner find it? She really liked the fit as well because it's not structured. It means it can mold to your different feet shapes, and she's got much smaller feet than I do. And the material really hugged nicely on the feet without feeling too compressed or too tight. So they could probably do with shortening the lacing on the smaller sizes. She would like these to be shorter, not a big deal, but something to note. She didn't feel too fatigued or as tiring as much compared to wearing normal hard wearing shoes or sandals or slippers that really aren't great for long mileage of wear. She gives it the thumbs up. I give it the thumbs up. These just feel a lot more natural, a lot more authentic. And while I wouldn't wear these for more intense activities like running, jogging, gym, sports, hiking and trekking, maybe urban city exploring, you could get away with this. If you catch it on any kind of trees or little bits, then it might fray the upper materials. Bear caution to the durability. If you find yourself caught up in the outdoors, naturally these aren't water resistant or waterproof. So if they get wet, it's gonna soak up and absorb the water. But thankfully, these are machine washable. The material itself can be just thrown into the washing machine and you can clear out any of the dirt. So in terms of maintenance, it's going to be a lot less hassle than you would otherwise. So that's literally the ZEBRAOASIS hemp shoe in a nutshell. I find these super comfortable and lightweight. Also how it's travel pack friendly. On your feet, it literally feels like you're walking on clouds, and the overall response and feel means that you're gonna have a great time wearing these and enjoy having these as your go-to everyday leisure shoes. I think they've made an excellent start. I'd like to see them improve the R-ring thread system. Trying to kickstart the thread, I did have to use some scissors to kind of cut into it because it kind of broke off. Then it was able to unwind. It was very smooth, barred a little bit at the end when I had to kind of pry it off. Hopefully they can make the system easier in terms of directions. This tab you see here is actually tucked within this little sleeve. You're not going to be doing this every day or day in, day out. It's really as an end-of-life feature. It does make me curious to see how long these will last. I feel the TPU foam is pretty durable and it's going to last a while, but again, depends on usage, intensity, and lifestyle. So we'll see how this holds up possibly in a future video. But for now, it's amazing to see more brands come up with innovative and more forward-thinking ways of how we can make everyday essentials like shoes a lot more environmental conscious. If you want to learn more about ZEBRAOASIS, I'll be putting the link down below. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing this in more shoes to come. Thanks a lot for joining me in this video review of the ZEBRAOASIS hemp shoes, separated hemp shoes. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, keep being awesome. Peace.
Every day after day, I try to go out my way. I wanna secure